Okay, I am live. I'm literally just off a call with All Insider and Fantastic Mr. Sam. I guess I should play some Meerkat music while we wait.
Hello?
There we go.
For now?
That is a business related, and I do still have it.
It's WWE Champion time.
Go, 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 go.
Thanks for the money, stupid fuck.
I love it. Go, 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 go.
By eBay.
Hell!
It's been tough. I always think that it's my fault.
Drinking gin.
Yep, I'm toxic. I love Hulk Hogan's dick. My ass is so fucking stretched.
Oh, no, you didn't, you motherfucking piece of shit cocksucker. Mark my fucking words. I'm coming for you.
For now?
Go, 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 go.
Thanks for the money, stupid fuck.
I love it. Go, 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 go.
By eBay.
Hell!
Hateful slurs. Lame brain pieces of dog.
Well, what do you know? Phil's live. I guess I can't time that well. Guys, remember, the usual kind of stuff, you know what I mean? If Phil says anything in the card and I miss it, then by all means let me know. Just hit me up in chat, you know, and everything else. Yeah, as I've not had a proper chance to review this bloody bingo card, but yeah, I'm trying to rush about here, do my best here, but the game's live, so the game's afoot. We're starting bingo, so yeah, good luck, guys, and yeah, fingers crossed we get a full house.
Alrighty, good morning everyone, and welcome to a new, fun, and exciting edition of the Level 1 Podcast. Today is Sunday, the 7th of August, 2022. Got a lot to say today, because today, we're in the midst of EVO weekend. A lot of stuff has happened at EVO, and I'll talk a little bit about it this morning. But one of the things that I'd actually like to talk about in depth today is my discussion of netcode and fighting games, which has always been something of a hot topic. Whenever I play fighting games and I heavily criticize them, I just realized that the camera is massively zoomed in. Like, wait a minute, what? There we go. Usually, I heavily criticize fighting games for their netcode and performance. And so, with a lot of games getting big announcements at EVO this weekend that, oh, we're getting rollback netcode. Rollback netcode. Are you excited for the rollback netcode? Well, I'd like to talk a little bit about rollback versus standard delay-based netcode today, in kind of layman's terms, to try to give you an understanding of why I'm not so sold on rollback netcode being the best. And I think that, sadly, for over a decade, the fighting game community has had the wool pulled over their eyes in regards to netcode, and everyone rejoicing about this is really kind of maybe on the wrong base here, but you'll see. It's my opinion. I'll give it. Hope you enjoy it. Before we get into the meat of the podcast today, a few quick things. First of all, you may have noticed we've had this new intro for a couple of weeks, which has worked pretty well for the podcast. Thank you. I believe it was a Spartanius one who made that for us, and I've really enjoyed having it as part of the podcast. Today we will have a new outro, all right? And we'll see how that goes. You guys let me know what you think of the new outro to the podcast. And thank you to those who are working on this, because as I've told you guys over the years, the success of me and my content is largely based on you and your support and your contributions. I don't have the know-how to be doing fun stuff like this, and I appreciate those of you who do step up and help out with stuff like this. Okay, so new outro today. All right, in addition, I just want to reiterate, I am looking for animations for the streams. If you haven't noticed, our tip and super chat animations have pretty much been the same since January. If anyone wants to take a stab at an animation, I would absolutely, positively appreciate that. So let me know if anyone wants to work on that. Rather than the Skyrim ones. I mean, the Skyrim ones made sense from like January to June, but then we beat Skyrim and I still had them for another month. It would be great to have something new there. Okay. Also, you may notice the Pac-Man lamp looks a little different today. The Pac-Man lamp has two settings. Setting number one is what I've been using for the past couple of days, which is where it just variates slowly between colors. This setting actually looks more like a video game. All right, this setting is supposed to be responsive to noise. So as I talk, the ghost changes colors more quickly and actually cycles through the colors in response to my voice. I didn't even know it had this setting. And then this morning I was looking at it and I was like, what's this? I turned it on and it starts changing as I talk. I'm like, whoa, that's kind of interesting. So I think this actually looks more like a video game because the way it blinks is more like 8-bit blinking, as opposed to the other mode is more like a slow transition. So I'd like to leave this on today and you guys let me know how it looks, if this looks better than how it looked previously. And we'll make a decision together what we want to do, if we want to put it back on the old mode or on this mode. I think this mode looks better. It looks blue, red, green. It's like cycling through a bunch of colors, which is really nice. I'm definitely liking that. Look at that.
Oh, money, money, yeah. Money, money.
Thank you, Novachera, for subscribing to the channel. Guys, I'm still a wee bit all over the place, just trying to kind of get myself set up, you know, so if I miss anything, please tag me in chat. I'm doing my best to kind of... I literally, as soon as I hung up the call, OBS was like going live, and then Phil was like live 2 minutes later. I didn't even have time for one song from Meerkat. But yeah, I'm doing my best just to try and like kind of get myself up to speed. I didn't want to miss the bingo, you know, so I'm trying my best to accommodate both, you know, that being said stuff and then do the bingo. But yeah, thanks for the subscription. Tag me in chat if I do miss anything. D-Dog done it there for me just to tell me about him saying help, I think it was. So yeah, thank you very much, guys. I do appreciate all your help as I get through the bingo card. Hopefully today's the day we get a full 25 out of 25. It would be good to end the week with a successful full house.
Yeah, blue, green, red. Oh, that's cool. Orange. Yeah, it's showing a variety of colors at a quick rate, right? But if you guys find this is annoying and distracting, you let me know and we can go back to the old version. It's up to you. Give me your feedback today. Okay? One final thing before we jump into the meat of the show. All right? If you guys haven't noticed, I don't know how you couldn't, all right? The last couple of months have been incredibly slow for game releases. There's been almost nothing, and the few games that have come out, like Stray, have been short. So for the most part, I've been doing retro content for almost 2 straight months now over the course of this summer, inadvertently basically having like a summer of retro 2.0, even though this wasn't originally my intention when the summer began. There's just been like nothing going on. And I thought maybe after that first week of June, we'd have announcements of games coming out over the summer. Not really. In fact, the games that are coming out are so ridiculously, sadly, unstreamable. For example, Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Oh, it's a hype new game, Switch exclusive RPG, sequel to a popular franchise. Will Phil play it? Well, the game's 140 hours long if you just play the story. Do you guys have 6 months? I know I don't. I know I don't want to be starting up an RPG now. You know what I'm saying? And be playing it until December. So that's what I mean. These are the kind of games coming out right now. I was like, well, I guess I'm not playing that one, you know? So it is what it is. But basically, what I've noticed over the last couple of months is 2 things that sadly is kind of a negative towards DSP gaming. The engagement in general, meaning comments and likes on the videos, are way down. Okay? This is a bummer because I'm playing stuff that in a lot of cases is fan favorite stuff. Like right now, the Batman Return to Arkham Asylum playthrough we've been doing for the past couple of weeks, you guys nominated and voted this. The members of the channel nominated and said, we want this as a playthrough. So I gave it to you guys. But the engagement on the videos is bad. Just being honest, it is. It's very low. I'd be lucky to get a handful of likes and maybe a 1 comment on a video of a Batman playthrough. I don't understand that. People asked for it. I thought people would be hyped for it and would want to participate in it. And it's like kind of the opposite. All right. Now, again, admittedly, there's not much that I can do in regards to new releases right now. There's nothing out. And the ones that are out are not streamer friendly. So there's not much that I can do to say, oh, let's reinvigorate the channel with new games. There's no new games. You know, this week I'll be trying 2 Point Campus. That is a new release for this week. Will it be any good? I have no idea. I've never played a 2 Point game before. I'll give it a shot. But again, I can't guarantee that it's going to be exciting and engaging for you guys, and that we're going to want to do it long term. It might be one of these games you play it once or twice. You know, there are some new releases coming out at the end of August with the Saints Row. I guess you could call it a reboot. Pac-Man World is getting re-released for modern consoles. So there's going to be a few different things at the end of the month that may garner some interest. But I can't make games come out in the next 2 to 3 weeks. You see what I'm saying? So if you're enjoying the playthroughs, if you're watching things like Final Fantasy VII, Batman Return to Arkham, the Multiverses videos, and now we got new stuff starting up tonight, which we'll talk about in a moment, chill playthroughs that you guys have voted for, please engage those videos, okay? Please, I need you to engage those videos because I need things such as likes on videos and comments. That is how YouTube sorts and orders videos. Seriously. Like right now, if someone else is playing a Batman Return to Arkham playthrough, if they get just a few more likes or comments on their videos than mine, they will actually get priority in the search algorithm.
Oh, but because they fucking deserve it, Phil. Have you thought about that? You know, you can't just fucking beg people to give you comments just for the sake of fucking giving you comments. If they want to give you comments, they will leave those comments on your fucking videos. If they cannot be arsed, there's probably a fucking reason for that.
Even if my videos maybe are more popular when it comes to video views and stuff, they will get prominence. That's how YouTube judges engagement and popularity on YouTube. So this is something that for years and years and years, I ignored it. I never talked about it. I said, I'm not playing the YouTube game. Sadly, now I have to kind of play it a little bit, and I'm going to only play it to the point where it makes sense. No, I'm not going to do clickbait thumbnails. No, I'm not going to be doing clickbait titles. No, I'm not going to be doing drama shit constantly to get you to come to the channel. I'm going to do what I love and what you've loved from the years that I've been a content creator. But I do need your buy-in that you're going to engage with the content that I am putting out there. You guys gave me huge engagement earlier this year for playthroughs, such as Horizon Forbidden West, Elden Ring, Sifu, all those 2-3 months we were playing a bunch of new releases like February, March, April. Engagement was sky high on DSP Gaming and the channel was growing. You could look, subscribers were going way up and everything. And then what happened? The new releases stopped coming out and the engagement slowed down, okay? I still get thousands upon thousands of views a day on DSP Gaming, okay? If you're one of the people who watches this stuff on demand, this is a chance I really need your buy-in. This is a way for you, for free. It doesn't cost you anything. Liking a video, leaving a comment helps this channel concretely. If you can do so, please do so, okay? All right, now, let's get into the show. Let's talk about the schedule, okay? Excuse me. Today, we are finishing up Batman Return to Arkham Asylum. We have the Poison Ivy boss fight, the remaining Riddler trophies, the final boss fight. Then the game's over, but the game does have optional challenge content, which I could do for optional trophies, as well as, maybe going for the platinum. I don't know how difficult it is. I haven't done the challenge content in this game. We could look at it together. I don't know if it's necessarily something that I want to go crazy in, but I don't think that 3 hours, I don't think there's enough left in the game to really fill 3 hours. I think there's about 20 to 30 Riddler trophies left. And now we have all the abilities, so now I can literally, once I beat Poison Ivy and the vines are gone from Arkham, you can just go through the whole game and do every Riddler trophy in a row. Boom, 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 boom. Finish all those up, get the cutscene and trophy reward, and then move on to the finale. So let's see how long it takes to do that. We'll beat the game, and then we'll see if there's extra time and you guys want to see me do some of the challenge stuff. Maybe we can do it. All right. But if not, then maybe we'll just do some Q&A or whatever. We'll chill a little bit. All right. It's up to you guys. I'll leave the power in your hands to determine what you'd like to see on the stream once we beat the main story of the game. Fair enough? Okay. But I'm excited. This, by the way, one of my favorite playthroughs in recent memory, playing it for the game for the first time in 13 years, seeing the origins of where the future Batman games came from, because both Arkham City and Arkham Knight are very different games once you go into the open world Gotham as opposed to being stuck in Arkham Asylum. Let's be honest, Arkham Asylum, you're retreading your steps quite a lot, going back to the same areas, much like Metroid or Castlevania. In a lot of ways, the game has direct ties to Metroidvania games, but because of the fact that it's Batman and it has hand-to-hand combat, it definitely doesn't feel like a Metroidvania game. But I really enjoyed redoing it this time around with an interactive audience, us talking about the lore of Batman, the villains, our movies, comic book plot lines, you guys helping me with all the Riddler riddles. It's been a very fun experience and very different from that first playthrough I did 13 years ago when I took time off of my office job, which I still had at the time, to sit at home for a couple of days and play this game hardcore and try to finish it up. All right. Hope we can end it in grand style. A nice, good time today. Thanks to everyone who's been here along the ride for the Batman playthrough. I really appreciated your viewership, and your interaction on the streams has been great. And I hope we give an epic conclusion today. Okay. Cool. Tonight on the late stream, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time, we are doing something completely different. Bassmaster. Yeah, Bassmaster. I know. A game that was available on Game Pass earlier this year. We kind of joked about it, saying, gee, maybe this is something Phil could do for chill content. Well, guess what? We finally got around to it. People want it. I actually did a poll the other day. People voted, we want Bassmaster. All right? So starting tonight, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time, we are going to chill in an actual fishing game. Now, am I expecting this to be a super serious playthrough where I'm so, oh my God, I got to catch the lunker and we got to be the top in every fishing tournament and we're going to go from lake to lake? No. The way I see it, this is an opportunity to have a true return to chill. A true return to chill streaming, much like I used to have. If you remember, I always used to have a game in the rotation that was considered the chill stream game. It started with games like Minecraft, where once a week I would jump into my Minecraft world and just kind of wander around, maybe do a building or a little bit, do a little mini project, but it wasn't anything super serious. It was more about just kind of relaxing and enjoying an open world game with no end goal and having fun interacting with my audience. Then, a couple years later, we had Animal Crossing, a game where, again, yes, it's about a simulation. You're making an island with villagers, but it wasn't ever really about that progress. No, it was a lot about the interaction and the chill fun that we had while I was doing that. Okay? So, in regards to Bassmaster tonight, that's Morrowind. Yeah, it's a good point. Only Kawaii coffee, I should say. Morrowind was that as well, even though there was some interaction and you guys kind of teaching me about the ins and outs of old school Elder Scrolls. A lot of Morrowind was just chilling. So I agree there. We haven't had like a dedicated actual chill stream game like this in a while. And I'm curious to see how this will turn out. Maybe tonight will be a smash hit. People will show up, engage, support, have a great time. And you guys will be like, hallelujah, let's do this once a week. Or it could be the complete opposite. It could be boring as shit and no one likes it and we never do it again. No real risk there. Because the game's a Game Pass game, right? I didn't invest anything in it. So if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. What I will say is this. In previous games that I've played, as I said, Minecraft, Animal Crossing, and others, whenever there's fishing segments, typically the fishing segments end up being pretty entertaining if it's something that takes a little bit of time to do. That's usually the opportunity we have to talk and chill. So I'm curious how it will actually turn out in a real fishing game. All right, let's see. I feel like tonight half the stream will be focused on trying to learn the ins and outs of the game because it's a game I've never played before. I'm not going to understand what I'm doing. But the other half might just be kind of waiting for fish and chilling and relaxing. So hope to see you tonight for the premiere of Bassmaster 2022. Okay? Tomorrow, Monday, more Final Fantasy VII, and we are now officially in the end game. In fact, if I just focused on the main story itself, I could beat Final Fantasy VII on Monday. But the game still has significant optional content. What I mean by that is, if you want to beat the super bosses of the game, the Emerald Weapon and the Ruby Weapon, you need to grind a ton, and you need to get the best abilities in the game. For example, the Knights of the Round Materia is essential to beating those bosses. Do you need it for anything else in the game? No. You literally can skip it and not care. It doesn't affect, you don't need it for the final boss at all. All right? But if you want to do everything, it's tough. And you need to spend a lot of time doing things like racing and breeding chocobos to finally get one of them to fly to the secret areas of the map and get the Knights of the Round summon and all of that. So to do that, it's going to be time consuming. Now, I'm willing to do the work if you guys buy in. Here's what I mean by that. Tomorrow, we're going to boot up Final Fantasy VII. I'm sure my audience is going to help me to understand what to do next and what are the next steps for the stuff that's available in the game. if I start to do this stuff and we have a good time and we chill and we relax and have a, oh, is this kind of fun? Then I'll do it. I'll dedicate a few streams to doing it, and we can do this content. I know that the Chocobo racing is so tedious. I remember doing it back in the day on PC to fight Emerald and Ruby Weapon and how annoying it was, but I still remember doing it, okay? So we'll see. We'll see how it goes, all right? Keep in mind, the game does run at 3 times speed, so certain things may be able to be sped up and not take as long. But I need to see people show up, engage, and support. It's important. If I want to do this extended gameplay and the optional stuff, and all of a sudden the playthrough slows down to a grinding halt, and the streams are dead as shit, and no one's supporting the streams, that I can't do it. There's many other things I could be doing. There's tons of games and playthroughs right now through either PS Plus Premium or Game Pass that I could be doing that I know would bring more interest. But I really enjoyed the Final Fantasy VII playthrough, and I would like to give it that time and attention. I would. So if you guys are liking that playthrough, please, tomorrow show up, engage, support. Let's do that together. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and we'll just beat the game. Okay? So that.
I don't think Phil's told us yet that he really wants people to engage and support the game. It feels like he really should tell people that before the camera is on, don't you think? He's not mentioned it once, not one time yet, that for people to just engage and support. This is like, what, the 6th, 7th time now, man? This is an endless loop. He's like stuck in some sort of strange infinite loop of going over the same point again and again and again. I'm playing the game, but please support me. Why? Because I'm playing the game. I like it. Please support me. Why? Because I'm playing the game. I like this game. Please support me. Okay? If I can just get on with a fucking point.
That's tomorrow. Tomorrow night, we're starting up something new again. We're actually going to start the Toy Story 3 playthrough. I very briefly, for about 10 minutes, started this playthrough up last week when we were doing Game Pass exploration streams. The game seems quite good, actually. The graphics are great. On Xbox Series X, they're upscaled to 1080p. The bummer is it's not 60 frames. It's just between 25 and 30 frames per second, but it looks pretty good. The intro segment I enjoyed. I think it'll be a great playthrough, and you guys have actually wanted me to do Toy Story 3 for a long time. It was actually years ago. It was made available as part of the Games with Gold program, but now it's kind of the best time to play it because I have an Xbox Series X where it looks amazing. So hopefully you'll tune in tomorrow night for the start of that, okay? Then, on Tuesday, it's a new game release, 2 Point Campus. Brand new game from the makers of 2 Point Hospital. I've never played 2 Point Hospital before, but I am excited to kind of jump into their new content and see what this new game is all about. If it ends up being great, thumbs up. If it ends up sucking, meh, no big deal. It was a Game Pass game, okay? Then on Tuesday night, we're going to do another late night stream of Multiverses. And I do have something to say about this. I've enjoyed playing Multiverses. I'm having a great time with Multiverses. Last night, I used Bugs Bunny. I think he's a superb character in Multiverses. I got a ton of wins. I leveled my battle pass up a ridiculous amount. Got a bunch of unlocks. We're well on our way to being able to unlock another character in Multiverses. Okay? But the support for Multiverses has not been good. Every time I play the game, I'll play it for an hour and a half. And then all of a sudden, last minute, someone usually will do a big contribution, and we hit like the tier 1 reward goal finally near the end of the stream, and then that's it. It's like, people like watching me play it. They show up. The views are decent for a live stream when I play Multiverses, but no one seems to be willing to support it. That's not good. More people are actually supporting my old school fighting game streams on Friday nights than Multiverses, and no one seems to be able to give me a valid explanation. All right? For years, people wanted me to play other fighting games other than Street Fighter. They said, man, we really want to see you branch out. So now's a chance. It's a hot new game. Everyone's playing it. It just had finals at EVO that had like viewership records were broken. Everyone's super excited for this game. Okay? I'm having a great time with it. I'm learning a new character almost every time I play it. There's new content along the way. Season 1's right around the corner, which will be exciting when it launches. All right? Why won't people support this game? And the excuses I get are so ridiculous. Oh, well, it's a kid's game. Are you shitting me? You're shitting me, right? Fucking people love Smash Brothers to death. It's the same as Smash, if not a little different and better at this point, and you're going to shit on it. So if you're saying this game is a kid's game, you're also saying Smash Brothers sucks. Which Smash Brothers has a giant competitive community and a giant viewer base. What are you talking about? That's like the worst explanation I've ever heard in my life. It's a kid's game. Seriously. And that, you know what? Then every game's a fucking kid's game, you know? And other people, well, Smash is better. All right? You can argue Smash is better. That's your subjective opinion. To which I counter, Smash is done. Smash Brothers is done. It's over with. There's no new content for it.
Well, Street Fighter's done, you always go back to Street Fighter 2 every single goddamn Friday night. Street Fighter has been done for so goddamn long, and yet you still reminisce about the fucking time you were done well in a tournament one time. You play it every single Friday because it was the one time you actually achieved something kind of notable in a game, ever. You cannot let go of Street Fighter 2 because of this. There's been several other Street Fighter games since then, and you refuse to play them. Street Fighter 2 is done, and yet you will refuse to move on from that. Take your own advice, Phil.
Ever. Until they make a new game years and years in the future, there's no Smash. There is no future for the current Smash Brothers game besides playing the same shit over and over. Multiverses is exciting.
D-Dog, I kind of thought the same, but Phil was saying, are you shitting me, you know, you're going to shit all over this game. Is that scat talk? I tried to go over this every day with things when Phil was talking about this kind of thing. And people weren't really too sure if it was scat talk because it was like a general insult, like bullshit, for example. Calling something bullshit is not being scat talk. Him talking about shitting all over a game, it does sound like you're being quite derogatory about the game and not actually being like, oh, okay, fart shit. I do kind of personally think it is scat talk, but I know people don't agree with that. So, him saying, oh, you're going to shit all over this game, technically I would think it's scat talk, but I know not everyone is of the same impression. So we're just going to go, yeah, scat talk is when DSP is not really talking about poo-poo. Well, saying shitting all over a game is quite distinctive, in my opinion, review Boldness USA, but I get what you're saying though. It's silly, we could do better, I think. We could do better, yeah. Okay, so yeah, that's why I'm ticked off Scat Talk at D-Dog. But yeah, I picked up on it as well, but I kind of knew from like previous streams of like, the chat aren't entirely sold in that, you know, Phil needs to go like super clown mode with his scat humour.
Just started. People are just figuring themselves out in the game. The game will be rebalanced. The game will have tons of new content. You're basically talking like a game that is now literally retired, all right, because there's no new content and will stay the same forever, is the same as a game that just fucking came out and is in its formative stages right now. For a fighting game player like me, this game is super exciting, all right? Maybe for someone like who only played Smash or followed Smash over the years, oh, I'm set because this might take up the title of the platformer fighting game from Smash. Yeah, and it's going to. Smash is done. So you can either accept it or you can sit and whine around. You know, whine and stomp your feet like a baby. I mean, Smash is done. There might be a new Smash in the future. It's not even in development right now. So it's time to deal with reality, okay? Okay. Now, some people say, well, Multiverses is too similar to Smash. We wish that it would diversify itself. You know what? It might. We don't know yet. The game is in beta. Have you ever seen a game in beta get this much hype and be this exciting? I mean, I don't think I ever have. I've participated in some fighting game betas before that failed miserably. Remember the Street Fighter V beta didn't even fucking work? So, to me, this is like night and day from other fighting game experiences I've had. And every time I play it, I have a ton of fun. All right? So I like, I almost said I like Smash. I like Multiverses. I want to keep playing it. I enjoy playing it 2-3 times a week. But I need buy-in. I need people to say, okay, we're enjoying this. We want to see it continue. Because the people are showing up. They are watching. But the support is almost non-existent. Like I said, there's usually one person who shows up every single Multiverses stream and will do a pretty sizable tip. And then everything else is like $1 here, $1 there, and then disappears and slow. All right? I do need support if I'm going to keep playing Multiverses. So, the way I see it is, probably do it for one more week. We'll see how it goes. If we can finally get consistent support with Multiverses, then I'm probably going to keep it in the rotation. If, for some reason, it just never happens, I don't know what to say. I'm going to have to drop it. And by the way, I'm not going to accept a single complaint, not one, if people complain that I drop Multiverses after me playing it for so many weeks and talking about it and saying I want to keep playing it but I need support and people will not support it. I've had enough of that bullshit. I really have. Oh, now it's Phil's fault that he's not playing it. Listen, if I were fucking rich, if I were one of these drama queen pieces of shit on YouTube, constantly slandering and attacking other people for profit, and I was rolling in fucking dough, then I could play whatever I want. I'm not. And you guys don't come here for that. You guys...
Reminder, Phil earns over $120,000 a year through YouTube and tips and Patreon and other avenues. Just a wee quick reminder of that fact. I would absolutely say this is YouTuber jealousy. This is YouTuber jealousy, actually, that's a good point. This is definitely YouTuber jealousy. So yeah, I'm definitely taking YouTuber jealousy. That's absolutely YouTuber jealousy. So, let me rewind, just in case I miss anything, and go.
Oh, then I can play whatever I want. I'm not. And you guys don't come here for that. You guys come here for valid gameplay and fun, chill experiences. That's why I'm successful. So, if you want to see that continue, support that. Don't say, oh, I wish Phil would just play it even though it doesn't have any profit to it and no one will support it. That's not how this works. All right? Understand, it's not how this works. I'm very different from the other content creators out there. You have to support these kind of projects or they're not going to happen anymore. All right? All right. Excuse me. So, when the hell was I rolling in dough? What a dumb thing to say. Someone says, you were rolling in dough, but over the years you wasted it all. Or whatever. You fucking...
I can tell you exactly when you're rolling in dough. In fact, you referred to it, Phil, as the gravy train days. When you're getting paid on a machinima contract, you know, based on views, and you're just spamming out videos like there's no tomorrow. That's why he made all these random ass videos, like, you know, cooking poorly with the king and DSP tries, and here's him opening a box, you know, and this is why he did all these videos, because he abused that to its fullest.
Money, money, oh, money, money, yeah, money, money.
I'd absolutely love it if Phil tries to pretend that he's never been, like, you know, well off financially before, you know, even though he's admitted in the past he has. It's great. I want to see him try and retcon this. You know, I was never actually that rich. No, I never actually had a huge amount of money. Motherfucker, you cannot retcon that. Thank you very much to Bust123 for subscribing to the channel. I much appreciate it. Thank you very much. But yeah, I want to see Phil try and retcon this garbage.
Rolling in dough. What a dumb thing to say. Someone says, you were rolling in dough, but over the years you wasted it all. Or whatever. You fucking idiot. Okay, yeah, I was always rolling in dough. So, Multiverses Tuesday night, and then Wednesday is kind of an up-in-the-air day. Wednesday's main gameplay stream could either be another session of 2 Point Campus right away, all right, or it could be more Final Fantasy VII. And the late stream right now, tentatively, is Toy Story 3. But if you guys wanted to ask for something else, we could also do something else in place of it. So let's see what happens. By the way, hello Jade, how you doing? Okay, that's kind of the rough schedule for the streaming week. Reminder, next Saturday is the return of the Closet Clean Out Marathon, where for all day long we'll be going into my closet, seeing what else is in there. We're only about halfway through it. There's a lot more shit in there. I'm actually hoping we find things in there that I can trade in, because I'm thinking if I go and I trade in my PSVR, maybe with like an older console or two, I might be able to get some good value. I don't know. We'll have to see, but we gotta see what else is in there and what's viable for trading and stuff. If I have stuff in there with no accessories and shit, you know, then I can't even trade it in. So I guess we'll see what we find. Okay, so that's going to be Saturday, the 13th of August, coming up this weekend. Okay. All right. And by the way, during this week when I come back from my break on Friday, we're going to talk about what kind of like fast food style stuff you'd like to see me maybe get for that show. Because I'm going to probably get fast food for like a quick DSP tries it as opposed to a full-fledged feasting with the king. And I'm not sure what to get. You know, there's a lot of different fast food places around here I could order from. So we got to figure that out. Okay? All right. One final thing, and then we're going to get to the news segment. Ladies and gentlemen, I must reiterate what I've been saying every day this week so far. Right now, this week is an insanely tight financial week for me. Okay? If you're choosing to support my streams this week, with all the ways that you know you can, whether it be a membership, a gifted membership, a super chat, a super sticker, etc. Right now, I need help with tips because I have bills coming up.
Well, that's a bingo. It said gifted memberships, which is a bingo. Now, people are saying also, may I just burped? Let me rewind. Let's see if I actually did just kind of burp.
And I must reiterate what I've been saying every day this week so far. Right now, this week is an insanely tight financial week for me, okay? If you're choosing to support my streams this week with all the ways that you know you can, whether it be a membership, a gifted membership, a super chat, a super sticker, etc. Right now, I need help with tips because I have bills coming up Monday and Tuesday. In fact, as of the end of today, I basically need to transfer money over to my bank account to clear bills. All right. And then I got my day off on Thursday. And the only way that I can pay for that stuff is with tips. Anything else you contribute, I appreciate. It helps tons. But I need help with tips right now. All right. So if you can tip me, please do. All right. I'm not asking for anything above and beyond anything you were already going to do. I'm just saying if you were going to contribute to the channel this week and you have the option to choose and say, oh, I was going to do a super chat, but I want to help out with a tip, please tip. All right. I need the help with tips right now. I really do. It's very important that I get that support. If I don't, we're talking not paying bills and not having enough money for my day off, which is going to be awful. All right.
I personally think it'd be fucking funny, you know. I don't think it'd be that awful. That's just me, though. That's just me. Maybe I'm just a bit of an arsehole, you know. Kind of like Phil to struggle and flounder because this real adult boy with his real adult job can't sustain his own real adult life because he's too irresponsible with money. Maybe it's just me, though.
So I hope that we can, finale of Batman today. Hopefully we can get a rally of support. Tonight, trying something new with Bassmaster. Hopefully we can get support there. And hopefully this is not an issue. All right? So thank you in advance to anyone who supports the stream in any way. But tips would really help me right now for this rest of this week. Okay? Fair enough. All right. Now, let's get to the news, shall we? First of all, I have a news story today that I was kind of scratching my head about. I didn't even know about this existing. It was announced this morning, okay? Let's listen to this. Listen to this. Sony is already retiring accolades, a PlayStation 5 launch feature. Accolades? What's that? Right? Does anyone know at all what accolades are? Right? You kind of scratch your chin. What's an accolade? Has any of you heard of it? PS5's been out almost for 2 years, right? Well, allow me to explain. Here's what accolades were supposed to be, okay? Accolades were, by the way, I'm reading all of this from an article from IGN. I just want to be clarified here. I'm using IGN as my source, so no one says, oh, he's plagiarizing or whatever. So listen to this. Accolades were initially introduced to foster a more positive gaming experience and bring the community together by encouraging players to send one of 3 accolades: helpful,
Isn't it a bingo because I said positive? Sorry, it took a wee weather for actually I had a kind of wee brain fart moment where I was like, okay, I've paused the stream, where's OBS? And I actually lost OBS for a second. I couldn't see it, even though it's in the same spot, OBS, as it always is, and I feel lost it for a second. And I was like, where's OBS? I need to get OBS open so I can play the goddamn porn, sort of fucking, middle row bingo. But yeah, that's a bingo, second bingo of the stream. Thanks to Middle Row, Positive, YouTuber Jealousy, Snort, Gifted Memberships, and On Demand. We're doing quite well so far. I'm surprised he's not said life yet. I'm surprised it took so long for him to say positive, but yeah, things are going quite well so far, I feel. So this is a promising thing, but I feel he might not say life. I'm wondering why he's not mentioned the word life yet. He's not mentioned good tech shit, he probably will.
Welcoming, or a good sport, to a fellow gamer based on their performance in an online multiplayer match. Players could then see how many accolades they had racked up by looking at their PlayStation profiles. Unfortunately, it looks as though players weren't interested in this option. Wait, what? So I've owned PlayStation 5 since it launched. I've played multiple games on PlayStation 5 since it launched. I've done multiple multiplayer games, right? Take a look. Call of Duty. I played Multiverses. I'm doing right now. There's been many others, that I've tried. There were PS5 launch titles. There were PS5 indie games. There's all kinds of stuff that I've done multiplayer on PS5. All right. And do you guys recall at all once ever that I played a multiplayer game in PS5 and it popped up and said, hey, do you want to rate the players you just played with? Or was ever on my PS5 and maybe the console prompted me and said, hey, there's a new feature called accolades. We noticed you played a multiplayer game. Do you want to go rate those players now? Have you ever seen any of this at all? I haven't, right? I haven't at all. So maybe the problem is that if the feature exists you should fucking tell someone about it. I didn't even know it existed at all. I had no clue that accolades existed in the console, and I've had it since launch. And it's funny because some people are saying what it is the game devs, really needed to implement it, and the game devs obviously didn't implement it well, because if they actually had, then you would know about it. Okay? And fair enough. If you're playing a multiplayer game like Call of Duty, and you finish a match, and maybe every time that you go to close Call of Duty, it would have a prompt to say, hey, you just played a bunch of matches. Would you like to rate some of the players you played with to say if they were good players or good sports or whatever? I've never seen that. I've never once in any multiplayer game I've played seen any kind of implementation saying, hey, there's accolades on here. Would you like to use them? So what it sounds to me like, it's one of these other, how can I say, one of these big picture ideas Sony has, but they don't actually ask anyone if they want it. You remember with the launch of PS3, when they had the 6-axis controller with motion control built into your controller, and you would wobble it to try to do motion, and there was just very few games who implemented it. One of the first ones was Uncharted 1. The feature sucked, no one liked it, and they just completely stopped making any games that supported it whatsoever. So everyone paid extra during the PS3 era to have motion controls in their controller that they never used because no game developer ever wanted it. Neither did the gamers. It feels like this is a situation where they created something, they didn't ask the market if there was any demand for it, they just put it in there to say, hey, it's innovative, it's something different, but it doesn't mean anyone wanted it.
Sorry, 2 seconds. Solo just said catching up with live, Burton said shit about 6 minutes ago. The problem, it is, just because he says shit doesn't mean it counts. He has to actually be very clown mode where he's doing scat talk, where he talks about, he just talks about, literally flushing shit down his, kind of thing when he gets kind of weird scat humour, he can't just say shit for it to count. But I did actually see a couple of people are certain he burped. Okay, so people are sure he burped, so I'm going to tick it, okay. And because it's a bingo going diagonally, look at it, let's get the horns going. So there we go. So many people have said I did burp as well, I couldn't find it myself. I tried to rewind it, maybe I didn't rewind back far enough, but I'm willing to tick burp, but he needs to actually do proper, scat talk. He can't just say shit. Him just saying shit does not count. It's scat talk. It needs to be the context as well and how he says it. But his is a very strong bingo card so far. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we've got 8 more to go.
So here we are nearly 2 years later, and absolutely nobody wants it or cares about it, right? So, am I sad to see it go? No. I was not even aware that it existed to begin with. Okay. All right. Now, let's start talking about EVO, because I got a lot to talk about in regards to EVO. First things first, there's a lot going on at EVO. Is there any giant real game, world-shaking announcements so far? No. Not surprised, today is Sunday, the final day of EVO. If there were going to be any giant announcements at EVO, it would be today. So expect today there may be some game expansion announcements, DLC announcements, new season announcements. It may all happen today, okay? What's happened at EVO is quite a few different things that I'd like to cover. First of all, you guys remember this guy named Gutex? Does the name ring a bell to any of you guys? The guy that at one point...
Money, yeah, money, oh, money, yeah, money.
Thank you very much, Brad Burning, for his super chat. It says, Phil talks about features nobody asks for. The irony. Yeah, that's a good point, actually. It's a very good point. Phil is fucking desperate for some dumbass features himself, which doesn't really fucking matter for a lot of people, but it's yeah. The only way games can kind of evolve is if they fucking try and adapt. I still remember the big fuss that got made about analog sticks replacing the up, down, left, right arrows, and you could... Anyone remember Ape Escape? For me, that was the one big game that helped to try and encourage people to use the analog sticks for movement. So that was a game that introduced me to using the analog sticks instead of just the arrow buttons. And Ape Escape was a great wee game, by the way. It was kind of frustrating at times, obviously, because it was you try to collect all the wee apes. But Ape Escape was quality. That to me, that's what I'm saying, revolutionary kind of game in the grand scheme of things, where it's we're using. For console players anyway, we're going to using the analog sticks now on your controllers, because PlayStation controllers obviously used to just have the up, down, left, right. There was no analog sticks before. That was a brand new thing. It took some getting used to. If you move it slightly, you can actually go slower and all that. It did take a wee bit of adapting, obviously, because people weren't used to that kind of thing. It's so funny where it's these games and these companies, and they also have to try and find ways, though. it can't just be the same thing all the time over and over again. It's you got to try and experiment and try things and see if it takes off and sticks and has some longevity to it, and it's one of those things. If it works, then great, and if it doesn't, then oh well, at least you fucking tried. You can't just... I wasn't alive when Escape came out. Well, fuck it. Thanks for making me feel old, Train, I appreciate it. Old man here recollecting the data. Back in my day, we had a game called Ape Escape, and it was hot shit, and like, people are like, what the fuck's Ape Escape? Hell man, the N64 controller when it first came out. The N64 controller, I never had an N64, but it was a weird controller. I said, I've got a strange kind of console history. I went from actually, Pong, we kind of the paddles that go up and down, and hitting the ball back and forth. That was literally my first, computer console kind of experience playing Pong. It belonged to my uncle, and it was a kind of strange wee kind of rectangle brick of a control thing, which had a dial on it, like a radius, so we circular dial when you turned it left and right to go up and down. That was literally my first gaming experience. I don't know if it was actually called a Spectrum. Oh, it was some kind of wee orange box, I think. It might have been, I don't know what it was, I went from that to this, from that I went to Commodore 64, then from Commodore 60, by the way, Commodore 64 is you had to use tape cassettes. No offence, let's have stream more bingo. Balls. I guess you're a fair point, we're a wee bit behind. Anyway, Commodore 64, Mega Drive, PlayStation 2, Xbox 360, then PS4. That's my gaming history, abridged. Right, that's actually a good wee pause as well for Phil. It's a strange Phil face. Right, he's going to slander Gotex now or something, so let's see what he says.
Was a very prominent figure in the fighting game community during the days of Street Fighter IV, a guy who was synonymous with Evo and online streaming of fighting games, a guy who was one half of the awesome or excellent adventures of Mike Ross and Gotex, But you may have noticed that no one really talks about the guy anymore, because in recent years, the guy not only went off the fucking deep end, completely, not being a part of the show anymore. I don't know if he was kicked off or whatever. But basically when Street Fighter V came out, these guys stopped being prominent. They stopped being any kind of prominent at all, to the point where they completely fell off the face of the earth and no one really talks about Mike Ross and Gotex anymore. Gotex went on to cause tons of controversy, talking about cryptocurrency constantly, even though it didn't really seem like he knew what he was talking about, then telling everyone at the start of COVID that you don't need to get vaccinated, it's a government conspiracy. That'll always win you, popularity points. And then, most recently, last year, during the Capitol riots in January of 2021, stating that the people who were hurt by Capitol security were martyrs. Yeah, that'll probably knock you down a few points in the public.
Money, yeah, money, oh, money, yeah, money.
Thank you very much, Kyle Denson, for the super chat. It says, money, yeah. When a detractor is more entertaining than one of the detracting. Keep it up, man. Remember, DSP is 1 minute man. And I don't agree with you personally. I don't think DSP is 1 minute man. I think it's just someone else. I think it's probably Planet Jeff. Planet Jeff is a long-term fan, but people found out who he was. He's like a contractor for a state or a city or something like that. And he makes good money as well, but people found out who he was and contacted him behind the scenes. So you don't see Planet Jeff anymore technically on streams. I still think he supports Phil secretly. Just because he wants to support him, he also cares about Phil. Hell, he gave him $1,000 to see his cat. He is very happy to give Phil a lot of money, clearly, for little things. So it wouldn't surprise me greatly if it was Planet Jeff that was 1 minute man. Although everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I don't personally agree with you, but if you think it is, I know some people also think 1 minute man is DSP as well. Personally, I don't agree, but you could be right, who knows.
Guy. So this guy since has been disowned by the internet community as a whole, as well as the fighting game community. He's not welcome at fighting game tournaments. They don't really let him attend them anymore. If he shows up, they tell him, we don't want you here. And in addition, he was kicked out of even being an emote on Twitch. At one point, he was the PogChamp emote. And last year, Twitch kicked him out and said, we don't want him anymore as this emote because the guy's so fucking problematic. All right? By the way, this guy has picked fights with me. And I'm like, what? Like, I don't have anything to do with the competitive fighting game community. I don't have anything to do with Gotex or Mike Ross at all. We had very little interaction whatsoever 10 years ago when they were prominent, right? I don't even understand why this guy would ever care about what I say and do, but this guy actually over the years has attacked me on my Twitter for things that I've said publicly out of the blue. I think the guy's fucking unhinged and pretty crazy if you want my honest opinion, okay? Now, why am I bringing this up? Because Gotex went to Evo this year. unbeknownst to a lot of people. I don't think anyone really even knew that he was there. So the other day, they did a special invitational exhibition, 10v10, North America versus European Union, and I think it was for a variety of games. I'm not exactly sure. I don't follow the competitive nature of EVO. You guys know that. But this is one of the big hyped events that was happening at EVO this year, okay? So the way EVO's working is it's not just one stream. The one EVO stream essentially is covering the main tournaments at EVO and the finals and stuff like that, while there's all these other streams that are doing co-streaming for special side events, exhibitions, and there happened to be a co-stream doing a side event for this 10v10 exhibition. So the person who basically is in charge of the whole fucking thing, I don't know his name, but he goes by Damascus on Twitter, or Z Damascus on Twitter. Basically, Gutex comes to the guy at EVO and he goes, hey, so I'd like to run an ad for my upcoming book on your stream. And he didn't ask once or twice. Apparently he asked him multiple times if he could do this. And every time he was asked, he said, no, I'm not putting your fucking ad on the stream. Sorry. You know, no one likes you anymore. You're basically the black sheep of the fighting game community. People would prefer not to even remember you because of the shit you've pulled in the last few years. I'm not running your ad. Okay? Guess what happens? They run the fucking ad.
Oh my god, Phil showed his phone on stream. That's so dangerous, we might find out all sorts of hidden details. We need to go back. We need to go back and see that.
They run the fucking ad.
Money, money, yeah, yeah. Money, money, oh, money, money, yeah, yeah. Money, money.
Thank you very much, Kirby Souls. The super chat says, Pengar, yeah, yeah, I assume that means money, money, yeah, yeah, in whatever language that. I do hope I'm saying that right. Pengar, yeah, yeah. I do hope I'm not just slaughtering whatever language that could be. Yeah, sorry. Thank you very much for the super chat, I appreciate it. And I do assume it means money, money, yeah, yeah. But aye, this is Phil's phone, he's showing it on stream. Isn't that a bit dangerous? I thought I couldn't do that. He can show you, in fact with Hyams too, he said it's completely right. Phil was happy to show his phone on stream whenever it suits him. Oh, is it Swedish, Kirby Souls? That's good. I hope it did the Swedish language proud by how I try to pronounce that. Pengar, yeah, yeah. Well, I'm not too worried about the yeah, yeah. It's kind of similar to German, isn't it? But yeah, I don't know if he pronounced the G's or how well he. Anyway, thank you very much. Phil's phone being shown on stream. Well, that's the thing. He does this before when it suits him. But whenever I want to see him prove or disprove anything, like, you know, WWE champ, he's like, I can't show him my phone because people are going to find out more things about me and try and ruin my life. It's bizarre, man. He cannot keep his lies straight.
Free ebook, The Ultimate Training Mode Guide. Download now at Gutex.com. Fighting Game Fundamentals. Only available for free during EVO 2022. What? How did this happen? So this guy Damascus comes out on Twitter publicly apologizing, saying, I just want to make this clear. This was never greenlit by anyone. The guy literally went behind the scenes to the production crew and lied to them. He told them that this was all okay and greenlit and everything. You know what I mean? It's like, what? He lied to get his fucking ad on the stream. So he, you know, and now everyone's like, wow, not only do we hate Gutex, right? We hate him already. But now this guy literally lied and went behind the scenes in order to fucking pull this shit off. Like, what the fuck? I mean, I guess you have to give him some credit. I mean, that's some fucking epic tier level hustle. Like, how did he pull that off? Because no one likes the guy, but he still fooled people, right? Into running shit on an ad, a big ad at EVO, right? Like, Lovely Salted Nuts, I've had enough of you. You're not coming back. Goodbye. Seriously, I just had enough of your drama shit. You're out of here. Okay, so, yeah, like, what the fuck? So now, of course, everyone at EVO has, like, has shit on their face. Like, damn, this is a guy no one likes, right? And he just got his ad run on EVO literally for free. He just fooled everybody. I guess he lied to the production crew and told them, oh, I sponsored this 10v10. I'm part of the reason this 10v10 is happening. So they got his ad on there without permission. Like, wow. Anyway, I mean, do you think anyone's going to buy his fucking book? No one likes the guy. They hate his guts. This would be like me trying to run a fucking ad at EVO, right? It ain't going to work. I mean, they hate me for completely illegitimate reasons. It's not like I fucking do anything in regards to those guys anymore. But the point is, I also wouldn't go to EVO and try to get my fucking book at EVO, you know? But anyway, yeah, Yeah, pretty unprecedented. I've never seen anything like that happen before. Seriously. Okay? All right. Now, let's talk about EVO. First of all, you notice I'm wearing a Mortal Kombat shirt. Mortal Kombat tournament took place last night, and the winner was a 17-year-old player. I think he was from Chile. Don't quote me on that. I may be wrong. But here's the cool thing that I actually do like about EVO these days. All right? Back in the day, when I used to be a competitive fighting game player, all right? And I used to attend tournaments like EVO. I'm not kidding you. It used to always be the same people winning and placing at most of the tournaments. All right? Now, you might argue, well, back then things were different. You're right. Back then it was always about the big four. All right? The big four were Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Capcom vs. SNK 2, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. There were always other tournaments. Well, at some point they added Smash, Guilty Gear, you know, Tekken, Mortal Kombat, Injustice. All those games were added over the years. But for the most part, back in the day, those four were always the big four. And you would always see the same, like, I'm not even kidding, the same 10 to 15 people would win every tournament. It got tiring to see the same fucking people win. And I think the difference was that back then there was a lot of different factors. Number one, really, it was a grassroots movement to keep competitive fighting games alive back then. Okay? And essentially, when it comes down to it, you know, not having online play for those games was a huge factor. It was mostly who can travel, who can play in-person tournaments frequently to stay at the top of their game and then be able to actually, you know, rank in tournaments or whatever. And also there was stagnation. There really wasn't a worldwide pool of players back then. It just didn't exist. Today, in the last 10 to 15 years, a lot of things have changed. You could all argue it happened with the dawn of Street Fighter 4, where now these games are all played worldwide. They're very mainstream and hyped up. There's people playing all over the world with different strategies, different techniques. And then when EVO happens, they finally all come together. EVO used to have international people from outside the US, but not a lot. It was a big deal when someone from Japan or Canada or all these countries, Europe, they would come to EVO. And typically they wouldn't actually perform so well, okay? Now, things are very different. Now, with this whole online play, worldwide community mentality, what happens at EVO every year, you get different people from all over the world playing and winning. That's awesome. I would much rather have an EVO where you have no idea what's going to happen and who's going to win. You know, a relatively unknown 17-year-old comes out of Chile and wins the Mortal Kombat tournament. I would want to see that 10 times out of 10 over, oh, the same fucking guy who wins Mortal Kombat every year won again, you know? So I'm happy that happened. I like the fact that now it seems like you have no idea what's going to happen. You could have people coming out of the woodwork to play these games and be competitive in them. And, you know, again, there's no predictability, and that's a good thing, okay? So last night was also the finals for Multiverses. The Multiverses tournament at EVO was a 2v2 tournament. They didn't do 1v1s. They didn't even do free-for-all. They did 2v2, okay? Team-based. And the team-based stuff went really well. Super high views on the streams. The payouts were astronomically high for this game because there was a giant marketing budget for Multiverses, so the people who played in it were winning thousands of dollars for, like, I'm not kidding you, 8th place. They were still winning like $1,000, okay? The top players won a ridiculous amount of money, all right? So the team that won it was a team of Bugs Bunny and Wonder Woman, and kind of some of the things that I've been saying about the game stood true. Wonder Woman absolutely positively is a character built for the 2v2 gameplay because she has the team buffs. She allows for a lot better synergy and gameplay than playing her solo, and it basically led them to victory. Having that team buff where you get the defense up or whatever, it saved their ass a bunch of times during the course of the competitive play of the game. Okay, I saw a little bit of it and I was impressed. Like, damn, it's fast paced, crazy moving. You know, maybe Bugs Bunny is the best character because in the finals it was Bugs Bunny Wonder Woman versus Bugs Bunny Arya Stark from Game of Thrones. More power to them. The winners were Smash players, by the way. Are you shocked? Multiverses is meant to be the replacement for Smash, and Smash players won the tournament. No shocking surprises there, right? It was funny. Someone took a picture of one of them. His name is Void. It's like mere minutes after winning, you know, ridiculous amounts of money by winning the Multiverses tournament at EVO. This is Void in his hotel room, hunched into a corner by himself, opening packs of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I could turn this into a commentary about competitive Smash players, but I won't. I'll just say, hey, whatever floats your boat. Congratulations on winning. That's all I'll say, okay? But the other point I want to kind of make about this, which is a subject that I do want to talk about today, is netcode in fighting games. Because it was announced at EVO for not one, but multiple fighting games. I think most notably, it happened with, Dragon Ball Fighters. Excuse me, I was having a brain fart of what the name of the game was. Dragon Ball Fighters. That's the most notable one where it happened. But other games as well, all right? Where it was announced, oh, our game is getting rollback netcode. Rollback netcode is the best. Thank God, hallelujah, rollback netcode. People have been complaining since day one that they wanted Dragon Ball Fighters to have rollback netcode, and it didn't have full-on rollback netcode, okay? Oh, was it? I was mistaken. It was Tom and Jerry and Wonder Woman that won. It was Bugs Bunny and Arya who lost. Sorry about that. I was watching the finals and apparently it was so fast-paced, I thought it was fucking Bugs Bunny and it was Tom and Jerry. Thank you for correcting me. I appreciate that. Okay. Now, in regards to rollback netcode, all right? Allow me to give you an explanation, a very layman's standpoint explanation of the difference between current netcode and fighting games, why so many people seem to think rollback netcode is better, and then I'm going to tell you from an actual professional standpoint my take. Okay? So, there's delay-based netcode, and there's rollback netcode. Let's explore them both. Delay-based netcode means that dependent on the connection, when the quality of the connection is degraded or worse, the game decides, well, we can't catch up with what's going on in the game, let's slow it down. Let's make the game literally run in slow motion to try to catch up with the inputs and things going on and give time for the netcode to rectify the inputs and figure out what's happening in the match. All right? Rollback netcode is very different when it experiences problems with the latency or the connection between the players. What it does is one of two things. All right? Number one, it actually uses AI. That's right. Artificial intelligence to assume what's happening in the situation. It's not actually knowing what happened, what input happened on each side. It makes a guess. Okay? Based on that guess, the game then auto-corrects itself to an outcome. The reason that they call it rollback netcode is because in a case where the connection is very, very bad, you will actually see one outcome happen on the screen, but then the AI chooses an outcome, and it may be different from the outcome you just saw on your television. It actually rewinds the gameplay and then plays out a different outcome. So in one case, everything is in slow-mo, and it looks like shit. It looks like you're playing underwater. In the other case, everything's running at the right speed, but if it is a bad connection, you're going to see tons of jarring teleportation, things happening and then coming back and happening again in a different way. Ideally, do either of these make sense? Honestly, do either of these make any sense? No. Ideally, you don't want either situation to happen. Do you want it to look slow-mo and look like shit? No. Do you want it to be jumping forward, backward, teleporting all over? No. You just want the game to fucking work. So I hate to say it, when you look at both situations, there is no ideal state right now. Okay, there just isn't. There's no ideal state at all. But let's re-examine this. Okay? From a viewer's perspective, from a game developer's perspective, okay? You want the game to look the best possible. Fair enough, right? When you have delay-based netcode, you are likely going to see some slowdown in online play unless you have the absolute best of connections, all right? It's going to have some delay and you're going to notice slowdown and or lag, as they say, during online matches.
I would just like to point out, Prophet's trying to correct Phil in chat here. So, in our chat, I mean not Phil's chat. Prophet wouldn't be in Phil's chat. He doesn't care about Phil's chat. He's in this chat because this is where all the smart people are, like Prophet. So, Prophet says there are 4 netcodes: delay, rollback, GGPO, and stream. GGPO uses the AI prediction algorithm. Rollback uses a frame-based rollback. So basically, Phil is very wrong. Also, Black Mage, try and calm down. I know Phil is making you upset. I assume you're also quite aware of the rollback kind of stuff, and you seem very annoyed at Phil getting all this wrong. Try and calm down, pal. I'm actually wondering if his own chat is going to try and correct him as well and call him out for being wrong in this. It'd be quite interesting to see if he kind of feels like he has to try and, you know, be humble to his chat, or if he's going to call him idiots and being wrong. Because Phil pretending to be an authority in this, and it really should be. When you think about it, Phil has the experience on his side. He should know this kind of stuff because he was a former fighting game player. Yeah, Phil's wrong saying so, says D-Dog. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I was pretending to be shocked when Prophet first brought it up, you know, but that's what I'm saying. But let's see if his own chat calls him out this. Oh.
Yeah, yeah. Money, money. Oh, money, money. Yeah, yeah. Money, money.
Thank you very much, Michael Shora, for the subscription. Much appreciated. Now let's see if his own chat will call him out on his bullshit.
Unavoidable with that style of netcode. It's just going to happen. With rollback netcode, okay, a lot of the times, the matches will still look smooth. Even if they're not. Even if there is issues happening with the connection, the common viewer, and even the game developer displaying their game, you wouldn't notice that, okay? Who would notice it? The people playing the game. Because you do a move, and then something else happens. You're like, wait, I didn't do that. What are you talking about? I literally just did a sonic boom, and the game says that I walked forward and pressed heavy punch. I didn't do that. But the game thinks you did because of the rollback netcode. It assumed something that didn't really happen here in real life with you, and it had a different outcome. All right? The thing is with rollback netcode, it hides those situations. Because of the nature of the netcode, it makes the game look smooth more often than not, and the common viewer can't tell that there's issues with the online connection. So when you're doing a game with rollback netcode, a player could be literally doing this like, wait, what happened? I just did a combo. What happened? It didn't come out in the game. That's the netcode. But you can't see it as the viewer. So ultimately, from a viewing experience, you want rollback, you want rollback over delay based. Because the rollback, you don't see the issue with the netcode when there's lag. Okay? But now, allow me to further elaborate on the situation, okay? Instead of looking at it from a viewer perspective, oh, I'm watching someone stream a fighting game, and it looks better with the rollback netcode, so we want the rollback netcode, all right? Now approach it, all right, from a gamer's perspective and a pro player's perspective, all right? I'm going to try to equate this to something in real life that most of us has done, because most of us have not played competitive fighting games. Let's be honest here. How many of my viewers here today have actually sat down and played a fighting game competitively in a tournament setting or in an online setting, right? Probably not many of us. But I can equate it to something that most of us have likely done. Driving a car. How many of us have driven a car? Probably a lot more than played a competitive fighting, right? Okay. So, you're driving a car down a highway or a freeway, all right? Everything's looking good. It's clear road. You're cruising. You're having a good time, right? All of a sudden, there's a road hazard in front of you. Something appears. Maybe it's a big rock in the middle of the highway. Oh, shit. So in your mind, there's going to be some process. Oh, my mind tells me I have to avoid that rock. So I have to consciously acknowledge what the rock is with your eyes. Has to go to your brain, send the signal. Okay, got to avoid it. What are you going to do? You're going to turn the wheel, maybe reduce your speed, go around the rock so that you avoid it, right? Now, imagine you're not in the car, but you're...
Phil said life according to MRC Midnight, and I think he did as well. So I couldn't remember. It was one of the things I was thinking, yeah, I think he actually did say it as well. A couple of people I think have caught it as well, so that's a double bingo right there. Double bingo for life. Fantastic stuff. Cheers for keeping me right, MRC Midnight. Much appreciated.
You're remotely controlling it via the internet. All right? Oh, I see the rock. I acknowledge it in my mind. Uh-oh. Depending on the kind of netcode you're using will change the experience of how the car reacts. Okay? So, if you have delay-based netcode, oh, I see the rock. Uh-oh, the connection's not so good. Everything slows down to slow motion. Okay? All right. So it looks like shit now because everything's running in slow-mo. But it's like, okay, let me adjust. Let me start turning my wheel to the left. All right, it's slow. Fuck, it's slow to respond. It absolutely is. All right, but I'm turning the wheel, and finally the car starts to move, and it may very narrowly avoid the rock, or it may not at all, and you may careen into the rock, and your car flies off the highway. Okay, that's delay-based netcode. But you saw what happened. You saw the problem in front of you. You tried to react to it as best you could, but depending on the quality of the connection, maybe you couldn't in time. Okay. Now let's compare that to as if you were using rollback netcode. Okay. All right. So you're using rollback netcode. Here comes the rock. All right, I'm going to adjust, so there's no slowdown at all. Everything's still running at normal speed. You adjust the wheel. Well, a few things might happen. Number one, it works perfectly. You perfectly get out of the way right away. Done. Awesome. Great outcome. Or, if the connection's not as good, maybe you go to adjust, okay, but the wheel at first doesn't respond because it drops your input. Oops. So now you got to double adjust the wheel. Oh, shit. So now you do adjust, and it's still running in full speed, by the way, and you just narrowly avoid the rock. But you had to, like, double input your input because it dropped your first input, okay? Now here's another situation with rollback netcode. The rock is coming. I see it. I adjust my wheel. I should
Shut up, bitch!
You actually see your car drive around the rock. Oops, it's rollback netcode and the connection's bad. Your car teleports back 2 feet to directly in front of the rock. You hit the rock and you fly off the highway. You're dead. That's rollback netcode. When you play with rollback netcode, it's a crapshoot. You could get perfectly responsive controls. You could get controls that literally drop your inputs constantly, and you have to keep re-inputting your shit to hope your shit comes out. Or you could actually do the right thing, and the game says, fuck you, and undo everything you just did, and you fucking lose anyway. Okay? Essentially, with rollback netcode, you're completely taking the control out of the hands of the player. It's literally a crapshoot. I'm rolling dice and throwing them out there, and sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, sometimes the game says, fuck you, you don't even get what you input. All right? And this is why, when I play games online, all right, I call this shit out. All right? And if you don't believe me, you don't have to, by the way. This is my take on it. All right? When rollback netcode was first being introduced in the mid-2000s, it was made by, of all people, one of the Cannon brothers, and I apologize, I always get Tony and Tom confused. One of them essentially is the coder who writes a bunch of code, and the other guy was the business guy. They were, the twin brothers. I always got them confused, and that's my fault, all right? But one of them coded GGPO netcode, okay? This was literally the first iteration of rollback netcode. They rolled it out for free for people to use in various online emulation situations to test it. They then wanted people to post up their feedback on shoryuken.com. This is back when that website existed, because they were looking for positive testimonials because, well, I'll get to that in a moment. So, people start using this over the course of several months, and they're posting up their opinions. Most opinions are very positive because in that point, all online play is delay-based. So every game you're playing online usually has a lot of slowdown, a lot of shit. It's not good to play games online at this point in history, okay? Well, GGPO netcode very much looks better and performs better at that point than the delay-based netcode. But as I tested it, okay, Tom was the business guy, Tony was the coder. Thank you for clarifying. So Tony Cannon was the one who wrote GGPO netcode. As I started to try it, I noticed a few things. I was like, okay, in a lot of cases, yes, I'm amazed. It looks like you're sitting there playing right next to a guy. But the moment that there's a connection where there's lag, this is a shit show. I don't want my character teleporting all over the screen. I don't want the game skipping all these frames of animation. I don't want my inputs dropping. And by the way, this was really the first significant time that I noticed dramatic input drops. There's a difference between you're playing a game online, and every once in a while you do a move doesn't come out, versus, okay, move doesn't come out, move still doesn't come out. Again, the move doesn't, like, what is going on? That's a surefire sign when you're on rollback netcode that the connection's bad if your simple moves just won't come out multiple times in a row. Okay? So, when everyone literally at the time wanted to brown nose Shoryuken.com. Why? Because it was owned by the Cannon brothers. Why you want to brown nose the Cannons? Because they run the #1 tournament website in the world. If you want to be known for Street Fighter and you want to run tournaments in Street Fighter or go to a tournament in Street Fighter, you need to be able to post on Shoryuken.com or else you're basically blacklisted from the community. Oh, by the way, the Cannons own and run EVO, the national-sized tournament. So if you're not in good, standing with them, you don't go to EVO, you also can't be known in the prominent Street Fighter community. So you basically had to be in good terms with the Cannon in order to fucking be anyone. Okay? So, I see dozens upon dozens of people going on Shoryuken.com, kissing the netcode's ass. It's the best thing ever. It's flawless. Zero issues. No problems. Don't even have any constructive criticism. The best ever. I wish every game will implement this moving forward. And I'm like, are they not playing the same netcode as me? Like, sure, the rollback in some cases is much better than the delay-based. I'll admit that. But there's definitely big issues. The teleporting all over the screen, the dropped inputs, the dropped frames of animation, the actual rollback itself that's in the name rollback netcode. I don't want to see something on my TV and then have it be reset and then it says, oh, you fucked up, you lose the match. No, I did the right thing. For what I was seeing on my television, I did the correct input. I should have won the match, and you took that away from me because you're punishing me because the netcode is bad, not because I'm a bad player. I don't agree with that. All right? I would much rather have it run in fucking slow-mo. So I know, okay, this match is shit. It looks like shit. It's playing like shit. I know the outcome will be shit. So I have no misconceptions about the quality of this fucking match. It will be terrible because the netcode is delay-based and it's a laggy match. As opposed to with rollback, you don't even know. You could be playing a match that's laggy and it looks good, and the next thing, oh, did I time my move wrong, or did the game drop my input? You can't even tell with rollback netcode. You could have fucked up, or the code fucked you. And there's nothing you can do about it. And there's entire communities, there's entire games based around this rollback netcode, praising it, oh, kissing its fucking ass, saying it's the best thing ever, when in reality, from a competitive standpoint, it's not good. It's just as bad as delay-based in a different way, but it's still bad, okay? Only if you have ideal state connection. Oh my god, the internet connection is so good between me and this guy, it felt like I was there playing him in person. Fair enough. Then rollback netcode, I would prefer rollback netcode versus delay-based netcode if you have the ideal state connection. How often does this happen? 1% of the time, 1 out of 100 matches? So, I'm sorry, but rollback netcode is not flawless. It is not the best in netcode. It's just netcode that looks better. Doesn't play better, just looks better than delay-based netcode, okay? Now, if you didn't notice, I brought up SRK from the mid-2000s. Why? Because that was a very tumultuous time. There was no Street Fighter 4, there were no sponsorships. The Cannon brothers were very desperate to keep it alive and to make money. I posted up in that thread about about rollback netcode, criticizing it. I wasn't slamming it and saying it was terrible, but I essentially said things like, I feel like you guys are kissing its butt. It definitely has flaws. Let's explore them. And I explained the things I just explained to you guys about dropped inputs, the teleporting, all of that. My post was removed. When I questioned why, I was banned from Shoryuken.com. Okay? When I questioned why I was banned, oh, well, and by the way, this all happened on an IRC chat, because back then we all used to use IRC chat rooms to talk in the Street Fighter community. I was directly told by, I guess it was Tony Cannon, the reason you're banned is because we need to sell GGPO to make money so that we can keep supporting EVO and the like. So you're essentially taking money out of our mouths and hands when you criticize our netcode. And I said, but I don't understand. You put up a thread on your forums asking for feedback, but you're deleting the negative feedback in order to make a buck. And they said, yes, we don't want honesty. We just want positive testimonials so we can go to Capcom and other game developers and try to sell GGPO to them so we can make money to then finance EVO. Now, eventually I was unbanned, all right? But I became less and less caring about competitive fighting games over time. It was shit like that that really turned me off to it. It was like, wow. So the entire community is based on a lot. Everyone's being told that rollback netcode's the best. The entire, it was literally a fucking concerted effort to hide the truth about it so that they could make money. Okay? Now fast forward to the present day. All right? Guess what? There's no need to hide the truth anymore. All right? There just isn't. There's no fucking need because everything's different. Fighting games are big. They've got sponsors. There's teams. Fighting games are not going away overnight because someone doesn't make money selling rollback netcode. Okay? So in the modern day, I'm shocked and appalled when we have an entire community talking about rollback netcode is the best. Rollback netcode should be in every game or whatever. And it's like, has anyone actually analyzed fucking rollback netcode? Has anyone talked about it in the way that I just did? Layman's terms, explaining how in a competitive setting, neither netcode is good. And why would you know what I mean? Like, all I see is blanket just fucking fawning over rollback netcode. Oh my god. Dragon Ball FighterZ released without it, and it's the worst fighting game out there because it never had rollback netcode, and all it needed was rollback netcode. And now that it has rollback netcode, now it's going to be better. It's like, I just don't understand it, right? I don't get it. I fucking play the games. I show you what examples of what I'm talking about. It's not like I pulled this out of my ass, I'm making it up. Every time I play a game that has rollback netcode, we see the teleporting. We see, I can't even throw a max out with DJ. I'm trying to charge back, forward, and punch. The game thinks I did down, up, and punch. I'm not even pressing up. But the netcode is so shit that it can't even read a basic input. This is the ideal netcode we all want. No! Ladies and gentlemen, when you lie, when you over fucking exaggerate something, when you kiss something's butt, it'll never get better. When you outright say rollback netcode, GGPO style netcode is the end all be all best netcode, you'll never get someone to write better netcode because everyone will just think, oh, it's good enough. Why aren't we honest and criticize it for what it is and say, wait a minute, there's a lot of shortcomings to rollback netcode. You know, we should really ask for something better from our game developers. Not everyone should have the same. No, people should strive to have something better. But we don't. It's, oh, kiss its butt. We all just want the same thing. And it'll never improve. You will literally have another 20 plus years of everyone saying rollback netcode is the best until someone steps up in the fighting game community. Because it's not going to be me. I'm not in the fighting game community. I'm not a part of it. I don't go to tournaments. I don't participate in this shit anymore. You guys know that. I purposely stepped back to be someone different and be a variety content creator on the internet. And I'm all the better for it. Trust me. All the drama and shit that I see over there, I'm happy I stepped back. Okay? But someone needs to be a fucking man and stop being fucking pussyfooting around it and kissing its butt and stroking its dick and saying that rollback netcode is so like flawless. It's not. It's full of flaws. You can see them anytime you play it and there's lag. Oh, look, half the frames of animation are missing, skipping all over the screen. All my moves pass through them and don't even hit them. The hit detection's completely off. Half the time I press the button, the move doesn't even fucking come out or gives me the wrong move. Oh, I did an amazing combo, won the match. Oops, game reset it. I lost the match. How can you say that's good in a competitive setting? Are you out of your fucking mind? Stop being a bunch of fucking automatons. Stop being sheep. Stop kissing ass for personal gain. Because that's what it is. Everyone in the FGC wants to stay prominent. I gotta stay popular. I want the sponsorship opportunity. I want to be on the team. I want to get the money. I gotta take that paycheck. So let's just kiss the ass of the people who are in power and say that the things that they're pushing are good rather than being truthful. It makes me fucking sick. I hated that shit 20 years ago when I was part of competitive Street Fighter, and I hate it today. I don't like shills. Okay? This whole, right, people say the whole echo chamber attitude is exactly what it is. They all just echo chamber each other until people believe it and don't have the facts. All right? No, rollback netcode isn't flawless, and no, it's not even that good. It just looks better than delay-based netcode, so everyone wants it. Fuck that. Demand better. Demand better than shit. I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of everyone kissing ass to make money. You know? It won't, you know, why, Phil, you're ever gonna get back into the competitive fighting community? Why would I want to? Look what it's become. Why would I want to be a part of that experience? You walk in, it's corporate, sell, corporate, sell. Oh, that's definitely where I want to be, man. You know, every fucking one of these prominent fighting game community guys, sponsorship here, money here, kiss ass here. You know? No, I'm not the only one complaining about this within the competitive fighting game community. I'm not part of the competitive fighting game community. That's the point I'm making. I can talk about it as much as I want on my podcast. It doesn't matter. I will not have an effect because I'm not part of them. I can tell you from a pro level standpoint what I see and why this is bullshit. How it was bullshit 15 years ago when I was banned for SRK for telling the truth, and why it's still bullshit today. But no one's going to listen to me. It's going to take some people actually standing up and being fucking, you know, courageous and saying, why are we accepting this? It should not be accepted. This should not be the standard. We should not even be holding tournaments with this fucking netcode. It's a joke. Okay, here's how funny all of this is. Numerous people who have been playing Multiverses over the past 2 weeks since the beta released went to Evo in person and said publicly in interviews, it's like night and day playing this on LAN. What LAN means is consoles directly connected rather than on the internet. They're like, I was able to do things and pull off things here in person I never did on my own streams because they never even played the fucking game off stream. They don't even understand how different it is to play it in person. They're just seeing it for the first time. Anyway, I digress. That's what I have to say about that. You can completely disagree with me, and that's okay. Maybe you've had a completely different experience than me. All I can tell you is my experience ever since rollback netcode, the day it launched, and I played GGPO netcode versus today, nothing's changed. It's the same netcode. It's the same shit.
Money, yeah, yeah. Money, oh, money, yeah, yeah. Money.
Thank you very much, Brad Burning, for the super chat. It says, Phil talking about echo chamber attitude. Yeah, that's like the pot calling the kettle black right there, Phil's. And by the way, this pause, how in the hell did I get this kind of pause screen? That's just drunk side Phil. That's like the most drunk side Phil possible. The two sides, I need to take a wee picture. A wee bit dodgy, I know, but I need to take a picture. There's something go. Let me just take a wee snapshot of this. I think I'll call it drunk side Phil. It does look like a very drunk face. Bloody hell. How do I get it? How do I get these pictures, man? How do I get these perfect poses without even trying? Drunk side Phil, there you go. Picture saved, fantastic. But yeah, Phil, of all people talking about echo chambers, his entire chat's a chatting in bloody echo chamber. He has rules on his chat, I believe, where he's like, there's like new rules, and so you cannot bring up detractor stuff and all that nonsense, and it's just, it's like he's determined to make sure he can always control a narrative in his chat, and make sure it won't derail him and all that nonsense. Yeah, it's just crazy, man. Of all people to talk about echo chambers, man, this guy would not permit a chat with more freedom, you know. It's just not possible. he just lost control of it last week, of course, where he was like, it went on that unhinged rant. I said last week, it was, was it Thursday? Was it Friday? Sorry, was it Wednesday? Wednesday, actually, maybe Wednesday, I can't even mind. Have I seen DSP's GTA bag bag next to Rio? Oh, I see it right there, yeah, you can kind of see it right there. The money bag. The bag bag. It's a good spot, actually, a good spot.
Shit, only now every mainstream game wants it, people demand it, and it's just as bad as it used to be. I just don't understand it. And the only thing I can think of is the masses have had the wool pulled over their eyes because every other person who's influential in the community tells them so because they want to keep making that bank. And that pisses me the fuck off. Because how can I have concrete evidence of one thing in my content and other people just pretend like it doesn't happen, it doesn't exist? Oh, no, it's amazing. But whatever. You notice no one paid me to say this, right? No one. There's no, oh, this is sponsored by delay-based netcode. No, I just tell it like it is, man. This is how I've always been. This is probably why most people in the competitive fighting community hated me. Because I would say shit like this, and oh my God, you took money out of my mouth and money out of my family's pockets. Oh no, I was truthful. Oh darn, someone was, and the entire fucking community is sellouts. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that's enough of that. Let's continue on and let's do some shout-outs for today's stream. All right. So, shout out to Nicholas, who became a member at the super supporter level this morning. Thank you, Nicholas, for that. I really appreciate that. We could ground did a super chat this morning. So I remember traveling to LAN centers for Counter-Strike tournaments on the PC. Good times. I missed that kind of gaming from back in the day.
Okay, guys, I need to slow down to 1.25 because when he reads stuff that people have been saying, it just goes way too fast. So I need to slow down, I'm sorry. So let me just rewind it a wee bit and then go back to 1.25.
So, shout out to Nicholas, who became a member at the super supporter level this morning. Thank you, Nicholas, for that. I really appreciate that. We could ground did a super chat this morning. So I remember traveling to LAN centers for Counter-Strike tournaments on the PC. Good times. I missed that kind of gaming from back in the day. You know, as I've told you guys, yes, I do look back semi-fondly, I would say, at my days in the competitive Street Fighter community. There were very much times when I absolutely loved it. And I met people from all over the country, sometimes all over the globe. I had fun, unique, chill experiences with people, both competitive and even not competitive, just hanging out.
Money, money, oh, money, money, yeah, money, money.
Thank you very much, James M, for subscribing. Much appreciated.
And I'll remember forever, you know. That one Evo 2005, I went there with literally no backup, no friends, and I chilled with the guys from Maryland, and we had an insanely cool time together, and I'll never forget that. I hope those guys know that. Like, Isaac Graham and the crew, those guys were so dope to me at a time when I had no backing and no support ever, and they were basically friends to me. They didn't have to be, but they were very super nice, and I'll remember those times forever for my whole life, and it is meaningful. But at the same time, my God, there was stress, fucked up stuff, corruption going on in that community just like any other. Okay. Monty DeVamp has tipped me $10 this morning. First tip of the day. Says, thank you for playing the game that I first started watching you with. I am watching your playthrough on my time off, but I didn't want to miss out on seeing the end live. Much love, amigo. Awesome. Thank you so much to Monty DeVamp for our first tip of the day of $10. And I assume he means Batman Arkham Asylum, which, yes, again, really, really enjoyed replaying this game with you guys as an interactive audience. It's been a totally different experience, okay? Okay. All right, guys. We got a few extra minutes for Q&A. If you guys would like to ask me a couple questions here, I'm all ears, all right? Matthew says, Arkham Asylum and Lego Batman 1 were games that made him a super fan of Batman. I would not be surprised to hear that a lot of people played Arkham Asylum and it was their first major influential experience with Batman and they ended up liking the character. It was that good of a game at the time, for sure. Dacky, see, here's the problem. He says, well, I'm not familiar with Netcode. What would be better alternatives? This is the problem. There are no better alternatives. Why? Because for the greater part of almost 20 years, everyone just collectively says rollback's the solution. It's not. But people keep kissing its ass, and it's bad that they do that. If instead they demanded better, we'd have better Netcode. But they don't. They just say rollback, rollback, rollback. And every time another game tries something different, oh, where's rollback, 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 rollback? You don't have rollback. Your game sucks because there's no rollback. That's a bad mentality to have. Instead of demanding better, you're just complacent with the present because a lot of people, again, are either getting paid to say so or they've been brainwashed. It's fucked up. It's a bad situation for the fighting game community for sure. The 1 minute legend tipped me $2 says, bubbles, please. We need a bubble blow. All right. If we do hit 100 likes on today's stream, I will do bubble blowing. We haven't done it in a while. I really don't mind. There you go. 100 likes, you'll get some bubbles. We're already at like 50 something, so. No, it's.
Let's just get crazy because we're 6 minutes behind the live and it's 115 likes. Half the stream must have liked it right after Phil said that. He gave them an incentive to suddenly like the stream. because I'm 6 minutes behind live, and right now it says 115 likes on his stream. So that's an incredible leap in likes just because they had incentive all of a sudden, a daft little incentive. It's kind of crazy, that's what I'm saying. It's fan. They need to get something back from Phil if he wants to get something from them, and he's not really gleaning that. He thinks him wearing the glasses is somehow something his fans want. It's not. They need something more, Phil. Siege mode has Phil gone to siege mode. He needs to cross his arms. Essentially, it's when Phil crosses his arms, that's siege mode.
Eternal, I would say the vast majority of people who disagree with me on rollback just don't know better. They've been told for such an extended period of time by people prominent in fighting games that rollback's the solution. They don't understand that we could have better. They just think rollback's the best, rollback's the solution, everything should have rollback. Most people who play fighting games today competitively weren't even playing fighting games in the 2000s. It's true. It's a whole new generation. But they've been told this thing for so long, it's just infused in this is the answer, this is the best, this is the answer. They need someone actually prominent to come out and be like, all right, we should demand better, enough of this bullshit. I'm tired of my character teleporting all over the fucking screen when I play the game. But no one will do it. Multiverses is currently in beta, Matthew. It is not fully launched yet. It's not a fully fledged game. Okay. Yes, I'm done with the Netcode talk. Just people keep asking me questions, so. Ooh. Stiff neck. Why has the horror genre of games become underrated over the years? I don't think it's underrated. I think what happened is at one point it was oversaturated, and then what happened is they didn't feel like games that were pure horror could sell anymore, so they changed the genre with games like Resident Evil becoming run and gun instead of actual horror. And then just recently they've tried to come back to its roots, but at the same time, since Resident Evil became run and gun, you had a separate movement to make horror games less action and combat based, but instead more puzzle based, more survival based. Like, look at the whole genre of horror games that are now first person. You can't fight anything supernatural or deadly in the environment. You just got to run and hide and survive and solve puzzles along the way, right? So what happened is horror changed. Horror at one point used to be very heavily combat based, then it changed to be too combat based, and then it changed again. So I think kind of horror is in this weird situation where it kind of has like a dual personality, because now, like I said, Resident Evil has kind of gone back to its roots recently, but then you've got other horror games that went in a different direction, and there's no real consensus now on what's horror in a video game, right? I don't think we even could agree, because there's different kinds. So I do feel that horror can become prominent again. Like Resident Evil 8 did sell well. Did it sell insane gangbuster sales like a blockbuster title? No, but it did still sell pretty well. But I think it would take more than one, and that's what I mean. Like right now you had Resident Evil 8, and also what other prominent horror game can you mention in the past 2-3 years? Right? Were there horror games? Yes, indie level, but nothing prominent, nothing AAA. The AAA studios seem to have taken a big step back from those kind of games, you see? So I think what it is they need to get confidence back. That whole Resident Evil crash of Resident Evil 5, 6 kind of failing sales-wise really did take away a lot of the prominence of those games. Then take a look at Evil Within 1 and 2, right? Same thing. Evil Within 1 sold well. Evil Within 2, they, for some reason, fell out of confidence with the franchise, didn't even promote it, and it didn't sell well. So, yeah, I would definitely love to see a resurgence of horror games. I love horror games. You guys know that. Some of my favorite games to play with you guys, I like the jump scares. I like the air of uncertainty and the ongoing suspenseful nature of them. And also I like playing them with you guys, because a lot of people have told me over the years they're not good at playing horror games. Maybe they can't handle it themselves, but they like watching me play because they can handle it and they get a laugh out of it too. I love it. I would love to play a horror game right now. And how many are coming out by the end of the year? Exactly. Okay. So Alexander's correcting me saying rollback netcode is not necessarily AI. It's called optimistic update. It shows you the result, and if the pure is laggy, it rolls it back. So it's not AI. I was basically trying to simplify the way that it's. If I tried to explain it the way Alexander just broke it out, no one would understand what I just said. The game makes assumptions. It's not necessarily AI. There's no artificial intelligence. It's just the game makes assumptions based on the connection, and then tries to auto-correct those assumptions, but it could be wrong. That's rollback netcode. 1 Minute Legend. To me, another $1.50 and says, looking forward to the bubble blowing soon. When is the closet stream part 2? This Saturday. This coming Saturday is the closet cleanup part 2. Okay, and with that, we hit 100 likes. So bubble blowing it is. That's true too. Dabhand says, I feel maybe a lot of the market is trying to shift to a younger crowd. Take a look at Fortnite. Hell, Multiverses being free-to-play games that are basically kid-friendly. I kind of agree with that. I think they've realized the kids market is huge. Take a look at some of the most prominent YouTubers out there. PewDiePie, Markiplier. Who's their core audience? Kids. Just be honest. It's
No. Hold on a second. Hold on a minute. Phil has said several times whenever he's referenced PewDiePie that PewDiePie is no longer relevant anymore. So how in the hell can PewDiePie all of a sudden be catered towards children when he's apparently not relevant at all anymore and nobody talks about him? What gives? What gives? And Zion makes a great point. Kids don't have any purchasing power, my dude. Oh, yeah, that is true, Zion. But if they see something like they'll nag our parents about it, you know. Just think of all the Christmas ads. It's like, Mum, Dad, is a content creator I really like, you know. He's got this really cool stuff, you know. He's selling it, you know, it's all that kind of shit, you know. I mean, of course, the fucking parents might be, you know, willing to, you know, make sure a kid has something they like from this kind of content creator because they really like them. You do kind of see it sometimes as well with this Roblox shit, you know, so that's really catered towards kids, and like some of the things that you see in these kind of things are catered towards kids when like Roblox content is kind of a wee bit scummy as well. It's kind of weird what kind of slips under the YouTube radar in that regard. Yeah, Zion says, but kids aren't begging their parents to donate to PewDiePie or whoever else. Oh, no, not at all, Zion. They just steal their parents' credit card and then donate without them knowing, just like Derek did in the past.
kids. That's fine. I'm not shitting on that. I'm just saying you're right. There's a huge movement towards that market now, and I think you really hit it on the head there. Celebratory bubble blow in widescreen. There you go. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for a great episode of the Level 1 Podcast. I hope you had fun. All right, let's end the show and get started with the conclusion. Batman. I'm Batman. Doesn't have the same impact when I'm not wearing the cowl. All right, thank you all.
By the way, he's about to show the new outro, so let's go full screen for this.
All right, what did you guys think of the intro? Or the outro?
That was based, I'm pretty sure they're using the Money song in some capacity, like sped up. I recognise those trumpets. I recognise those damn trumpets. How often do we listen to that damn song on these streams? Like, give me a second here, guys. Give me a second here. Let me just pull up Pixar in 2 seconds. Let me experiment with something here. Let me experiment with something. Let me just go to... No, that's the wrong thing. Let me go to 2 times speed, and let's go to, like, this bit here. Right?
Show me the money.
Okay, now let's go back to this and hear what this is. There's even a re. They've even got a re in there, for goodness sake.
Show me the money.
It's like, so they sped it up and they also changed the pitch. So it's a bit higher. Slow it. Let's slow this down. Well, that's actually a good shout. Slow this down. Hang on. Oops. Go back.
You all.
2 seconds. 2 seconds. Right. Let's go 0.25. Let's see how it sounds. It might take a bit longer. I'm playing. This might be too slow. This might be too slow. Right, okay, so this is stolen from the contributions, clearly. Clearly.
All right, what did you guys think of the intro? Or excuse me, the outro. That was the new outro.
Now, for feck's sake, people want to go back and do it in 0.75. Right, one more time in 0.75. Whoops, so.
Thank you all.
Right, 0.75. Last time.
All right, what did you guys think of the intro? Or excuse me, the outro. That was the new outro for the show. Okay, what'd you think? Feedback needed. Anyway, all right, let's get ready. And I do have to use the restroom very quickly. It's just gonna be I have to pee. But outside of that, we'll jump right into Batman relatively quickly here. Okay. There we go. The outro is no bueno. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. Wow. Okay. Of course. The negative people have to be jerks. Oh, I hate it. It's terrible. Oh, some people like it, by the way. It's not everyone saying that. It's a few people saying they hate it, but some people say they liked it too. Okay. All right. All right. Very brief. Like I said, break to use the restroom. I'll be right back, and then we will conclude Batman. All right, guys. I'll be right back.
Okay, let me fast forward this. Well, it was a brief break. He was only away like a few minutes, to be fair. He didn't even roll an ad or anything, or roll his like slideshows. Here we go. Phil's back here.
Jasper is a nut. Jasper really wanted to come in here today, but my wife is home. All right, tomorrow, my wife is back at work, so Jasper can't be in here today. He knows if he comes in here, I have to close the door, and then he's gonna want to leave. I would love to have him in here, but he's not the kind of cat that likes to be in the office when the door's closed. Do you want me to try? Here, watch this. Ready? Jasper Kitty, where'd you go? Jasper Kitty. I think he took off. Oh well. I tried. He was all over me. He's tackling my feet. He's jumping all over the place. He's meowing in the hallway. He really wants to come in the office. But the thing is, I can't leave the door open when I'm streaming if someone's home. My wife is home today. And if I do that, it'll make so much noise in the house. It'll be like booming noise, and I don't want to do that, What's all going on, Yoshi? I'm excited for the conclusion. Everyone, thank you for being here for the conclusion of Batman today. I appreciate it. Thanks for all the likes already. I'll just reiterate this once. I'm not going to keep saying this all day. I do need a lot of help today with tips. All right, today will be a great day, especially because we're finishing this. We got a fun Bassmaster premiere stream on the late stream tonight. I know that sounds weird, but people want it. It would be great to get some good support today. Tips, I absolutely need help with this week. All right, I need to be able to pay bills, plus have money for my day off on Thursday. All right, every dollar that you contribute via tipping this week goes towards those efforts, and that is it. Nothing else. Okay, whatever fucking idiots say out there, that's all it's going towards, and I do need support this week. If you're going to support in any other way, still thanks. I'm not looking to give towards sending them out, but if you can contribute with tips this week, I would appreciate it if you could. All right, and so just saying this up front, it would be great to hit some of the goals today, have the rewards in place, a silly hat for the end of Batman and stuff would be great. All right, guys? One riddles left. Okay. One more upgrade left. 2 more character bios. I don't know where you get those from. Yeah, I don't know where we get the character bios from. Would I consider replaying Metal Gear Solid one day? Or Metal Gear Solid 5 one day. Yes. I would. Ah. Oh, God. Wow, guys, we're joining this one in progress. I wasn't expecting this. I thought maybe this would have resumed from outside of the boss room, but apparently the boss has a checkpoint.
Here, boys.
I did not know. If I'd known that,
I think that's game. I think he's recording for YouTube. I'm not sure.
I would have been so upset last time around during the boss fight. I would have probably been like, oh, they actually did this well, but I didn't know who was a check.
I think he's playing the game now, like, and recording. I didn't really recognise him recording at any point here. 2 seconds.
Would I consider replaying Metal Gear Solid one day? Or Metal Gear Solid 5 one day? Yes.
I usually can't see him hit record on his fucking shit, you know, when it happens. So let's see if he does it here.
Oh, God. Wow, guys, we're joining this one in progress. I wasn't...
He'd actually straight away, because he was caught off guard, he actually hit record. That is game. That's the end of the game. So bingo's over, sadly. We got 19 out of 25. Yeah, that's a shame. But hey, we know what bingo card we're using tomorrow. Dashy helped pick it out already. I don't think he knew that I was going to get to that being said, guys, to pick today's bingo card. But yeah, guys, it's been a busy wee day for me, as you know. I was on the That Being Said podcast before this, and then we flew straight into this. This has still been a good wee card. We've got a diagonal from top left to bottom right. We got the second row, the third row, and we also got the middle column and the fourth column. So that is 5 bingos. 5 separate bingos on this card. And who knows, there's always tomorrow. You know, hopefully we can start off the working week with a good bingo victory. But for now, I'm going to end it how I always end it. We have got Pixar Animations in the stream, you know, and thanks to him we can enjoy his amazing content that he made, all of the notorious PIG contributions, and of course I'm going to set it at 1 times speed, or you know, as in normal speed, fucking 1 times speed, just because we want to hear it all in its full glory, as the way it should be. I think I am responsible for 4,680 views. Not that many, but I watch this all the time. Obviously, every single stream we end this. If you've not subscribed to Pixar Animations, give him some love, give him some support. There's a link to his channel right there. So here we go. So for now, guys, hopefully catch you all tomorrow. Thank you all for the support. Thank you for your contributions. Thank you for your subscriptions, everything else. And thanks for engaging me with the chat and keeping me writing the bingo cards. It's been a wee hectic day. But that will be end of that. And yeah, hopefully catch you guys tomorrow. Thanks again. Peace out.
On September 14th, a pre-authorized payment of $16.51 from PayPal.
All right, Luna Mills has tipped me $1.30. It says, "I'm back. What's your favorite type of shower?" When you're showered in money. When you go outside, all of a sudden, greenbacks start falling from the sky, and you raise your face up. You're like, oh, you start dancing. You go, oh, money, money, yeah, yeah. All right, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, but thank you for the first tip of the day. Money, money, yeah, yeah. Money, money, oh, money, money, yeah, yeah. Money, 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 yeah, yeah. Money, money, oh, money, money, yeah, yeah. These contributions are mandatory. Money, money, yeah, yeah. Money, money, oh, money, money, yeah, yeah. Money, 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 yeah, yeah. Money, money, oh, money, money, yeah, yeah. These contributions are mandatory. and it's gone. Just gone like that. In an instant. Fucking gone.